Hi everybody, Sean Dawson here from Julie Harris Realty. We're a small family independent agency operating out of our office in Mount Gravatt East. We focus a lot of our efforts in the suburbs south of Brisbane City, but being an independent agency, we're able to operate wherever we like. We've sold all over the city, north side, Bayside, out towards Logan, etc., etc. Every month I go through some key figures released by various industry groups. In most instances I talk about the indices released by CoreLogic, which I'm going to do today. I'm also going to talk about some recent statistics released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Let's get straight into it. So every month CoreLogic talk about their key indices for the month previous, and so my focus obviously is on the blue highlighted section, which is obviously Brisbane. And this indices just talks about figures released around yearly figures, year on year and month on month. And so some very interesting news here, and probably again, like every month since September, to be expected, but all property prices increased in value year on year, so the difference between January 2021 and January 2020, and month on month, so the difference between January 2021 and December 2020. And that's for all properties, including freehold houses and strata titled properties. So again, working on the Brisbane figure here, but all these other stats include all your other capital markets, etc., etc. And around the country in general, it's been pretty good. Melbourne did see a little bit come down, and that will be largely because of the lockdowns that they've been going through in the last few months. These figures, important to note, these figures were released before their current lockdown was initiated, so we'll see what happens going on with them. But our focus is Brisbane, and so let's talk about that. So the change for year-on-year value in properties, so the difference between January 21 and January 2020, was up 4.06% across 12 months. So that's a great figure. Month on month, the change was up for all properties, 0.89%, so the difference between December and January. And so that's all dwellings. As always, a lot of the bulk of that change is normally held by freehold homes. And so in the freehold home category, so not strata stuff, just houses, the change year on year, so December to December, values up 4.85%, and then the month values up 0.98% between December and January. And a change again, and a positive change compared to the month previous, but with strata title properties, so units, townhouses, etc., etc. The value in year on year property change was 0.4% up. And a great positive turnaround as well. The difference between December and January this year was up 0.41%, and so that's a little bit different compared to previous months. Strata properties since September last year have been up and down, but we're up this month, which is a great thing to talk about. The next thing I quickly want to get on to is essentially some lending indicators that have recently been released by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and so they essentially talk about, I mean, it's the ABS, they talk about a lot of different things. They like to analyse, lending indicators in terms of how many loans were taken up by buyers for residential properties. And they're reporting some all-time records being broken as of December last year. So this release is about borrower-accepted finance commitments for housing, personal and business loans. The reference period was December 2020, and they actually released this a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of February. So in December 2020, new loan commitments, seasonally adjusted, rose 8.6% for housing, fell 0.5% for personal fixed loans, so less people were taking out personal loans, rose 109.9% for business construction, and that will be a result of all the initiatives that the federal government has been putting in with building, etc., etc. And that's probably the results that they were looking for. And so they go on to talk about how record housing loan commitments continue in December. The total value of new loan commitments for housing and the value of owner-occupied home loan commitments each reached record highs in December 2020, according to the latest ABS figures released today. The total value of all new loan commitments for housing rose 8.6% to $26 billion in December 2020, seasonally adjusted a 31.2% increase on December 2019. And so that goes a long way to describe the situation that we're currently experiencing here in real estate at the moment. Believe the hype when it comes to the news reports. There are a phenomenal amount of buyers out there still interested in purchasing property this year, yet we are seeing less people coming to market to list their homes, and we've experienced that in all the markets that we operate in. That's Mount Gravatt East, that's Upper Mount Gravatt, that's Holland Park, that's Carina, that's Carindale. We're with the properties that we do list, we're experiencing open homes where we've got 80 to 90 plus people looking to come through those open homes lined up down the street. And when I say people, I mean groups, that's not individuals. 90 registered groups at a typical open home. A lot of the properties that we're listing at the moment are selling very quickly, and I'm talking about houses and strata properties. A recent listing that I put on earlier in the year, 19/11 Lindwall Street, which is a very typical 2-bedroom, well-kept unit in Upper Mount Gravatt. Recently sold, settles tomorrow after 4 weeks on the market and 5 submitted offers. So again, buyer activity is phenomenal at the moment, and yet people are a bit shy on listing. In some instances, we're seeing properties sell for up to 5 to 10% over what the market value may be, and I've been experiencing that personally since September last year with houses in Mount Gravatt East. So, if you would like to have a chat about this kind of stuff, you can call me on 0407 149 757, or you can email me at Sean, SEAN, @julieharrisrealty.com.au. Thank you and have a good month.